Flying as a senior doesn't have to be stressful, confusing, or exhausting. In fact, once you understand how the system really works, flying can become far more comfortable and manageable than most people realize. The problem is that many of the rights and accommodations available to senior travelers are rarely explained clearly, and airlines don't exactly go out of their way to highlight them. Not because they're secret or illegal, but because acknowledging them often means extra effort, time, or cost on their side. And unless you know what to ask for, you may never even realize these options exist. Today, we're going to walk through the real, legitimate travel rights that senior passengers have access to when flying. These are not loopholes, tricks, or special favors. These are policies rooted in airline rules, disability accommodation guidelines, and federal regulations. And they apply whether you're 60, 65, 70, or older, traveling alone or with family, flying once a year or every few months. Let's start with one of the most misunderstood areas of air travel: seating. Many seniors assume that if they want a specific seat, extra legroom, or an aisle seat for easier movement, they must pay extra. In reality, airlines are required to provide reasonable seating accommodations when a passenger has a legitimate need related to age, mobility, circulation, or comfort. This does not mean you automatically get a premium seat for free, but it does mean airlines must make reasonable efforts to seat you in a way that reduces physical strain when you ask clearly and politely. The key is how and when you ask. Making this request at booking or early check-in gives you a much better chance than waiting until boarding has begun. Closely related to seating is early boarding. Many seniors believe early boarding is reserved only for elite frequent flyers or passengers who pay for priority access. But most airlines allow seniors to board early under their pre-boarding or assistance categories, even if you don't use a wheelchair or mobility device. Early boarding is meant to reduce stress, avoid rushing, and allow you time to settle in safely. If standing in line, lifting bags, or navigating crowded aisles is difficult, you are well within your rights to request early boarding assistance. You do not need a medical diagnosis to ask for extra time. Security screening is another area where seniors often endure unnecessary stress. Long lines, extended standing, removing shoes, and rushing through instructions can be physically demanding. Many airports provide alternative screening options or allow seniors to move at a slower pace without penalty. You are allowed to ask for assistance if standing for long periods is difficult. You can also request a chair, additional time, or help managing belongings during screening. These accommodations exist to ensure safety and dignity, not to inconvenience other travelers. Medications are another major concern for senior travelers, and understandably so. Airlines and security agencies have clear rules allowing passengers to carry medically necessary medications, liquids, gels, and medical equipment in reasonable quantities. This includes prescription medications, over-the-counter medicines, and medically required liquids that exceed standard limits. You are not required to place essential medications in checked baggage, and you should never feel pressured to do so. If questioned, calmly explain that the items are medically necessary. Having them clearly labeled can help, but it is not always required. Food is another area where seniors often feel uncertain. If you have dietary needs related to health conditions such as diabetes, heart health, or digestive issues, you are generally permitted to carry medically necessary food items. This includes snacks, nutritional supplements, and special meals needed to manage health during travel. While these items may be screened, they are allowed. The goal is to ensure your well-being during the journey, not to restrict it. Now let's talk about mobility assistance. Many seniors hesitate to ask for help because they don't consider themselves disabled. But mobility assistance isn't limited to wheelchair users. It includes help walking long distances, navigating large terminals, using airport carts, or getting to connecting gates on time. If walking long distances causes pain, fatigue, or balance issues, you are entitled to request assistance. This can be arranged at booking, at check-in, or even upon arrival at the airport. Gate changes and tight connections are another hidden stress point. Airports can be enormous, and last-minute changes can require long, fast walks that simply aren't realistic for many seniors. When you request assistance, Airlines are required to make reasonable efforts to help you reach your next gate safely. This might involve a cart, a wheelchair, or staff guidance. Ignoring this option often leads to unnecessary strain or missed connections. Delays and cancellations affect everyone, but they can be especially disruptive for seniors. What many travelers don't realize is that airlines often provide additional assistance during disruptions when requested. This can include help rebooking flights, securing nearby seating, arranging overnight accommodations, or ensuring medications and mobility needs are addressed. While compensation policies vary, assistance obligations do exist, and seniors should not hesitate to ask for help rather than struggling alone. Let's talk about communication. One of the simplest, but most powerful rights seniors have is the right to clear, patient communication. Airline staff are trained to assist passengers who need extra explanation or clarification. If instructions are rushed, unclear, or overwhelming, it is completely appropriate to ask staff to slow down or repeat information. Travel is complex, and asking for clarity is not a burden. Another overlooked right involves overhead bins and luggage handling. Seniors are not required to lift heavy bags into overhead compartments. Flight attendants are allowed to assist when possible, and early boarding can significantly improve access to available bin space. If lifting luggage poses a risk, ask for help rather than risking injury. Traveling with assistive devices is also protected. Canes, walkers, braces, and other mobility aids are allowed and do not count against your baggage allowance. These items are considered extensions of your mobility and must be accommodated. Airlines are required to handle them carefully and return them promptly upon arrival. Let's discuss restroom access. Seniors who need frequent restroom access should request aisle seating near the lavatory when possible. While airlines cannot guarantee exact locations on every flight, they are expected to make reasonable accommodations when informed in advance. This small adjustment can significantly improve comfort and reduce anxiety during longer flights. Another right that isn't often discussed is the ability to pre-request assistance without additional cost. When booking a flight, most airlines provide an option to request special assistance. This includes help during boarding, connections, and deplaning. These services are not upgrades and do not affect your fare. They exist to support safe travel. Seniors also have the right to travel without pressure to rush. If you feel pushed during boarding, deplaning, or connections, calmly inform staff that you require additional time. Safety always comes before speed. Airports are designed to accommodate passengers with varying needs, even if it doesn't always feel that way. Let's address one important misconception. Asking for assistance does not label you as incapable. It simply acknowledges that travel systems are physically demanding and accommodations exist for a reason. Many seniors who begin requesting assistance report that flying becomes significantly more enjoyable and far less exhausting. It's also important to understand that these rights apply regardless of ticket price. Whether you booked the cheapest fare or a premium seat, accommodations related to mobility, health, and age-related needs are not tied to how much you paid. They are tied to passenger safety and dignity. Traveling with family can also make a difference. If you're traveling with a spouse, adult child, or companion, assistance can be extended to help you stay together during boarding or connections. Airlines often try to accommodate this when informed early. Another area worth mentioning is airport layout assistance. Large airports can be overwhelming, with confusing signage and long distances between terminals. Assistance services are designed to help navigate these environments calmly and efficiently. Using them does not slow you down. It often speeds things up. One of the most valuable tools seniors have is knowing how to ask. Clear, respectful language goes a long way. Simple phrases like, "I need a little extra time," "I have difficulty walking long distances," or "I require assistance due to mobility" are usually all that's needed. You do not need to justify or over-explain. Let's also talk about confidence. Many seniors were raised to avoid asking for help, but modern travel systems recognize that support improves safety for everyone. Using available accommodations reduces falls, missed flights, injuries, and unnecessary stress. Finally, remember that these rights exist to ensure you can travel with comfort, dignity, and peace of mind. Flying should not feel like a physical test or a source of anxiety. With the right knowledge, you can move through airports calmly, board without pressure, and arrive at your destination feeling capable rather than exhausted. If you're over 60, or if you're helping a parent or grandparent travel, understanding these rights can completely change the experience. The difference between a stressful trip and a smooth one often comes down to knowing what you're allowed to ask for and having the confidence to ask. Air travel doesn't have to be something you dread. With awareness, preparation, and the willingness to speak up, it can become manageable, comfortable, and even enjoyable again. That's the goal, not flying harder, but flying smarter. If this video helped you feel a little more confident about flying, consider subscribing to the channel. Every week, we break down airline rules, airport systems, and travel rights in plain, easy-to-understand language, especially for seniors who want to travel smoothly, without stress or surprises. And if you have a question, a concern, or a travel situation you'd like us to cover, leave a comment below. We read them, and many of our videos are inspired directly by what you share. Travel should feel empowering, not overwhelming. If that's the kind of guidance you're looking for, you're in the right place. We'd love to have you here.